right. So I want to thank you so much for joining me in this afternoon. I think it's evening now for everybody. I appreciate your support. And I just want you to know that I invited you here because I care about you. And I want to share something with you that has transformed my life on many different levels. You know, most of us know that our health impacts our physical, spiritual, and mental health. And it even impacts our relationships. And so I invited you here because I feel that this is a safe community for you to up level in all those ways. So in case you don't know who I am, of course you all know who I am. I am Annmarie Waite, and I have been on this Purium organic superfood lifestyle journey for the last 3 months. And I must say that because I considered myself to be a health nut, I did not truly believe that I would gain a lot from being on this program. And why? Because I have lived most of my life on a clean diet. When I was 12, my father's sudden death from a massive heart attack and stroke at 43 years old left an indelible mark on me. It shaped my choices and it compelled me to take control of my own health. So my lifestyle has really worked for me in a lot of ways. One thing that I'm really satisfied about is the fact that I have developed a healthy relationship with food in terms of, not overeating. And I know this is something that many people struggle with. And so I feel grateful to have developed that relationship with food and other things in my life. However, many people see me as someone who is extremely healthy, but what you may not know is that I have been dealing with struggles. I too have struggles. I've been dealing with hair loss. That's why I used to have long hair and now I have short hair. You can't see it under my work cap here, but I struggle with sugar cravings. I love anything chocolate, tiramisu, desserts. I don't eat it often, but sometimes I do want to eat dessert every day after dinner. So it's a habit that is always on my New Year's resolution list of things to do. Every year I want to beat that sugar craving and it never happened. So the other thing is, as I get older, I noticed that I was losing my hair. And so these are just some of the things that I still struggle with, even with my healthy lifestyle. And one of the reasons that I got into health coaching is to really help people reach that next level. And here I was still with personal goals that I wanted to take to the next level. And so I had to find a way to get to that next level so that I can work with the clients that I have to do the same that I am doing. So I don't know if you can relate to any of this, but I know this famous woman whose name is Lisa Nichols, and she said, you can't transform anyone unless you have been transformed. And so one of the ways that I am choosing to start this next up level of health for me is with this organic superfood program. And it is very compatible with my health coaching programs because it's the same. It's a 90-day lifestyle transformation program. So in the last 3 months, I have been eating micronutrients that is grown in super healthy soil because we are only as healthy as our soil and the food we eat. And so within this program, I was able to detox my gut. I was able to alkalize my body and to deeply nourish it. And I was able to meet my goals. And I even achieved an unexpected result that was truly remarkable. So after 9 days, I lost my craving for sugar entirely. And after 90 days, I felt like I had rejuvenated hair growth because I wasn't losing hair in the shower when I washed my hair anymore. And last week, I had a facial and I was told that I had flawless skin. And that was one of my goals, to nourish my skin so that it glows from the inside out. But here's a good result, the unexpected result. How many of you are adults with pediatric veins? You know what I mean? I always dreaded going to have labs drawn because my veins are so tiny and they roll around. And then when you finally get into them, they just drip, drip, drip. They never flow. And so I had to I had to go draw some labs last week, and I showed up there, and the phlebotomist knows me well, so she got the butterfly needle, and we geared up for the search for a good vein, and she was able to access a vein. And I usually close my eyes doing the whole thing. And as soon as she found the vein, I opened my eyes because I wanted, getting ready to just wait for that drip, drip and that long process. But to my surprise, both our mouths fell wide open because my vein was just flowing like a river. I was so surprised. And she looked at me and she said, "Wow, what did you do?" And the only thing different for me was this program that I'm on. And I can only believe that when you clean up, nourish, and repair your gut health, then our cells have more oxygen and more energy, and it's no longer sluggish. The other good thing is I'm also experiencing increased energy levels. I feel more vibrant, and it helps me to really show up in a way that allows me to be more passionate about other things in my life. And I also discovered that this is an amazing business opportunity as well. And so again, following the advice of that famous friend of mine, Lisa, this is how I intend to fund my dreams. I know that many of us here are working on our dreams. And when we learn of a good thing, well, what do? We share it with our friends. And so that's why I invited you here as well. So we'll talk more about the business part later on. But now I would like you to hear from Rita, who is here with me. Rita introduced me to this lifestyle, and she's here to answer any questions you may have later on. But first, I wanted you to hear from Rita on the program, but also I'd love for you to hear her amazing story. I've only been on it 3 months, but you should hear her story. So here's Rita.
Oh, thank you so much, Annmarie. I love watching your transformation and just your heart and passion and dedication for helping people. It's been truly inspiring. And thank you, everyone, for being here. This is such a pleasure to share this because it's so deeply impacted every aspect of my life. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you just so you can learn a little bit more and see a visual of my story because you won't recognize me. Okay, so let me widen this for you. Okay, so we are the Transformation Company, and it's all about whole life transformation. So, transforming our health by getting to the root cause and transforming our food systems, which I'll dive more into. Transforming our environment. So, we'll dive into this, but we are 100% plastic free. We have home compostable packaging, which is amazing because even if you learn about the health impacts of microplastics and microtoxins, as well as the environmental impacts. And then we're working with regenerative agriculture, which I'll dive more into. We're here to transform wealth because that is a huge component of health, and really aligning with our purpose and our passion, and building strong, resilient community through collaboration and upliftment. So those are our core pillars. And raise your hand if you've ever heard of Ikigai. This is a really neat Japanese concept, which translates into a reason to live. And so here we're connecting what you personally love with what the world needs, with your personal skill sets, all the gifts that you contain, and also an opportunity to create an income if you choose. So really we are where your passion, mission, career, and vocation collide. And that is our goal, is to uplift everyone in any of these areas or all of these areas, whichever ones you're looking for. And I want to start by sharing my story. So growing up, I was an avid athlete, mountain biking, climbing, running. I wanted to be a professional athlete. And when I was 19, I had a near-death accident. I broke 16 bones, and I was told that I would never get back to normal activities and that all of those passions and dreams were out the window. So this is me 6 years after the accident, and I've tried everything from nutrition to Eastern medicine to Western medicine, to you name it, but you can just see how much inflammation I have here. I'm dealing with severe chronic pain. I would just go to bed at 8 o'clock at night because I was mentally and physically exhausted and done. And this was after many, many years of studying every modality you can possibly imagine, still dealing with inflammation, found way more joy, reduced my pain, but I still hadn't found myself. And right here, this is 1 month into the nutrient-dense superfood transformation. And you can just see the lightness, the joy, the inflammation starting to drop. And then this is 3 months into my transformation, and it is the first time that I felt like myself in 15 years. I looked in the mirror and I was just like, hi, there you are. I recognize you. And again, as Annmarie was saying, it's a whole mind, body, spirit transformation. So I finally felt like all the pieces reconnected and came together, and I felt like myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And 4 months in, I decided to join a race just off the couch, just to prove to myself that I could do it. I truly thought I was going to get last place, but I did it for fun. And I ended up getting 7th out of 76 women, no training, just simply added the superfoods in and had an amazing recovery. And I remember when I crossed the finish line, I was like, are we just getting started? I want to keep going. I have so much energy. Whereas everyone that I was running with was having a hard time crossing the finish line. So it was just really amazing to see the impact of nutrient-dense food. And that is what sets us apart from everything else. And then I continued to transform. And today I've been able to impact over 10,000 lives, to transform their health, their wealth, their passion, their purpose, their families, their communities. And it's just rewarding beyond words. So that's a little bit of my story. And what is special about this transformation? It's actually in the way that we grow our food. So raise your hand if you've ever heard of regenerative agriculture. It's just starting to, we're really at the forefront of this movement. but it's transformative because 99% of our soils are depleted. So we are depleted and we're not getting those micronutrients. And that was the big difference, after trying every modality I could think of and try, this was what brought everything together because we're working with whole foods that are grown in nutrient dense soils that are vine ripened to peak ripeness and then wind dehydrated on site. So they're preserving all of their nutrition in their whole form. And what is also really special about this program is most shakes and different things out there that you'll find on the grocery store shelves are full of additives and isolates and glyphosates. And our body has no idea what to do with that. So it actually just ends up building up in our system and causing long-term inflammation. Whereas this, it's completely recognizable by your body and easily absorbed. So we start to get into some really amazing regenerative principles and working with our epigenetics and turning on our healthy genes and turning off those unhealthy genes. So it's really the magic is in our farmers, the magic is in the soil and the way that this is harvested. And so if you want to learn more about this movement, please check out Kiss the Ground and Common Ground. They're amazing videos that just explain in depth how regenerative agriculture can transform our future. And to me, it brings me so much hope because we are in a time where we do need solutions in our health, in our finances, in our environment. And so the implications of regenerative agriculture are incredible for our future generations, for our health, and the health of the planet. So it's this beautiful, holistic grassroots movement that we're a part of. And why it matters when we can nourish and detoxify at that cellular level. We can support our sleep, we can support our gut, we can support our mind, our mood, our energy, which translates into our productivity, which also impacts our passions and our purpose, right? So the real depth of the meaning of this work is how can we show up more for our kids, for our families, for our loved ones, for our passions, and show up for our dreams. Like there is nothing like being able to pursue your dreams and not feel limited in that capacity. So those are some of our goals. And I just want to do a brief introduction of our 90-day transformation program. So these are all the wind dehydrated superfoods, nutrient dense. You're getting everything you need, all of your whole food vitamins, minerals covered. And it's equivalent of eating like 5 or 6 micro salads in one sitting. Which is great. And it's supporting that cellular health, reducing cravings, as you heard Anne-Marie's story. Detoxification really supports deep nourishment. Burns fat, everything, all of the bases are covered. So this is your nutrient dense shake. These are your super aminos, which were actually formulated by a doctor who was helping patients that were in comatose. And these super aminos prevented them from losing their muscle mass and helped them to actually build muscle even while being bedridden. So this is incredible for that elasticity of our skin, for toning up our muscles, strengthening, even if we're not working out a ton, which is great. And those aminos are important for our brain, our nervous system, everything else. And then you receive our biomedic, which is our gut support, and is the only clinically proven thing that eliminates glyphosate out of the body. And glyphosate we're actually exposed to on a daily basis. Billions of pounds are sprayed annually. It's in our food, our air, our water. It causes leaky gut within 20 minutes. So the impact that has on our brain and our joints and everything else. And so this repairs that gut microbiome, which is amazing, and it impacts everything else. As you may know, that gut-brain connection from our mood to our brain health. And then in the nighttime, you take an apothecary, And it's like your night elixir, and it just helps you get into a deep REM sleep. And it's also cleaning up your lymphatic system, supporting your kidneys, flushing out your body. So it's just so easy and simple. It replaces 2 meals a day. Yeah, and it's amazing. I love it so much. I live off of it. So, and I notice such a big difference when I do stop or take pauses. I just don't feel that deep satisfaction and nourishment from the food at the grocery store. It's just night and day difference. So that's what I really love about this. And in your first month, we do a parasite cleanse. And if you're nursing or pregnant, I'm actually 26 weeks pregnant. We have a cracked cell chlorella that you can use instead. So a really holistic program, thousands and thousands of testimonials, just like Anne-Marie's and myself, based on whatever your goals are. So I wanted to, this month we are doing October Oasis to really dive into supporting our cells, our mood, our hormone regulation, our gut support, our immune support. And so I wanted to invite you guys into that experience with us. And I just want to open it up for Q&A. Any questions whatsoever that you have, or reflections, would love to answer. Or takeaways, anything.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing. Thank you, Annmarie, for inviting us. It's been informative and enlightening, and working on my health and living healthy, eating clean has been a goal, because I saw my mom have a major heart attack at 36, and that impacted me. And I always said, I have to take care of this body. And so this is just looking at another level of self-care and healthy living, and really cleaning up what you eat and intake in your body. And I'm glad that I was here to hear. It opens up a whole different portal in my mind about thinking about, as careful as you have been, this is a whole different dimension of taking care of yourself. So I'm looking forward to hearing some more about it, and looking at the possibilities of possibly what's next for me. So thank you, ladies, so much for sharing, taking the time to just share where you've been and what you've experienced. And that gives us hope and forwardness in looking ahead for myself. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, Dr. Love. I love your name, by the way. It always puts me in a good mood. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing. And let me know if you wanted more information. Just reach out to me and I will get back to you. And Rita and I work together, so it may be a tag team together. I know you have to run, so thank you.
Thanks for making the time, Dr. Love. Oops, you're on mute.
We will keep in touch. So Annmarie, I'll get back with you. But once again, thank you so much. This has been very enlightening.
Beautiful. Appreciate you.
Right. Some people have to go to work, and I'm on my way.
I'm at work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bless you. Have a good evening.
You
Enjoy your
too.
evening. Thank
Bye.
you. Yay. Thanks so much for being here, Shy.
Hey, Shy.
Hey. We'll go ahead and stop the recording.